Welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. The federal government, through the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, announced May 24, 2024 as the official date for the opening of the portal for student loan applications. The media lead for the fund, Nasir Ayatogo, said the opening of the application portal marked a significant milestone in the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to fostering accessible and inclusive education for all Nigerian students. On June 12, 2023, Tinubu signed the Access to Higher Education Act 2023 into law to enable indigent students to access interest-free loans for their educational pursuits in any Nigerian tertiary institution. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent the National Anti-Doping Bill 2024 to the Senate for approval and passage. In a letter to the Senate, President Tinubu said the bill will provide a legal framework for the establishment of the National Anti-Doping Organization, an organization that regulates sporting competitions. He explained that the establishment of the agency was a requirement for Nigeria to achieve compliance with the World Anti-Doping Code. Tinubu noted that the law will help Nigeria avoid the imposition of signatory consequences, inclusion of laws of hosting and participating rights at regional, continental, and world championship or major athletic events. The Federal High Court, Abuja, has denied the bail application of a cryptocurrency firm's executive, Tigran Gambaryan. Justice Emeka Nwite, while delivering the ruling, held that the bail application is refused as he has carefully gone through the application submitted before him and resolved that the defendant will jump bail if granted. Gambaryan, his company Binance Holdings Limited, and a fellow top executive currently on the run, Nadeem Ajawala, were charged by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission with money laundering and terrorism financing. Oyo State government is set to recruit 7,000 teachers for public primary schools across the state. The state government also reviewed plans to recruit 100 caregivers for special schools across the state. This was disclosed by the executive chairman of the Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Nurin Aderinyo, during a press conference held at the boardroom. He added that for the 7,000 fresh teachers to be engaged by the government, at least 75% deficit of the gap will be plugged. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, has withdrawn a suit earlier filed against the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, Abdul Malik Sarikindaji, over his plans to marry off 100 orphans from his constituency. The minister noted that the ministry, in collaboration with the Speaker of the Niger State Assembly and traditional rulers from the state, are currently investigating the ages of the girls to ascertain if they are within the stipulated age for marriage. According to her, the Ministry of Women Affairs will focus on empowering girls as well as others affected by insecurity in the state. The National Judicial Council has resolved to issue warning letters to Justice Ian Okwo of the Federal High Court, Justice G.B. Brinkins Okolosi of the Delta State High Court, and Justice Amina Shehu of Yobe State High Court. The trio were found guilty of different degrees of misconduct during the 105th plenary meeting of the Council held between May 15 and 16, 2024, under the chairmanship of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Council's Director of Information, Soji Oye, dated May 16, 2024. Okwo and Brinkins Okolosi were barred from elevation to a higher bench for 2 years and 3 years, respectively. Ministers of State for Police Affairs and Youth Development have jointly announced a new project called Young and Secure, an initiative aimed at enhancing collaboration between the nation's youth and law enforcement agencies. Speaking at a press briefing at the Presidential Villa, Minister of State for Police Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, says the initiative aims to deliver on the renewed hope agenda by restoring trust, strengthening collaboration and renewing hope of young Nigerians in the police force. Minister of State for Youth Development Ayodele Olawande acknowledged the erosion of trust between youth and law enforcement in recent times, calling it an urgent need for proactive and innovative solutions. And still in the news, speakers of the Houses of Assembly across Nigeria's 36 states in the country have backed the ongoing constitution review exercise for the creation of state police. The speakers, under the aegis of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria, took the stand in a communique issued at the end of their meeting in Abuja. The communique was signed by Chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria, Adebo Ogundoyin, who is the Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly. A bill for state police is currently being considered in the National Assembly. Ahead of the off-cycle governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states, Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has cautioned against the abuse of incumbency power. Yakubu noted that a situation where a ruling party denies the opposition access to campaign spaces often results in breach of peace. He appealed for security protection for both the personnel and materials that the Commission would be deploying for the upcoming elections. Ahead of the Edo State governorship election slated for September 21st, 2024, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Edo office disclosed that it would begin the distribution of about 373,030 uncollected permanent voters cards, PVCs, on May 27th. The state resident electoral commissioner, Rek Anugbum Onoha, made this known during a stakeholders meeting in Benin on the forthcoming continuous voter registration exercise. Onoha stated that the PVC collection exercise would be done together with the continuous voters registration exercise scheduled for May 27th. The INEC REC explained that the exercise would be conducted in the 192 wards and the state headquarters of INEC in Edo State. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has announced the sale of e-tags, which will permit entry into all 24 federal airports in Nigeria. The sale is set to commence today. The last Federal Executive Council meeting resulted in the approval of 21 policies and projects aimed at boosting the economy, facilitating investment, and promoting the ease of doing business in the country. Among these policies, the Council approved a mandate that all users of the federal airports across the country must pay tolls at the gates before gaining access, with no exemptions. This policy will apply to everyone, including the President and Vice President. In its relentless pursuit of peace and security, the Military High Command has declared notorious terrorist leader Halilu Buzu, a citizen of Niger Republic, wanted. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, stated this at a news briefing in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere completes the report.
Addressing newsmen on the activities of troops, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, stated that troops are actively engaged in multiple theater of operations across the country, targeting terrorist elements and their collaborators. He announced significant strides in the ongoing operations, particularly in the hunt for Halilu Buzu, a high-value target and cattle rustler notorious for his illegal activities, including armed trafficking and gold mining in Zamfara State and its environs.
We are on the hunt of one Halilu Buzu. This Halilu Buzu is a leader, is a terrorist leader that hails from Buzu in the Republic of Niger. He settled in Sububu Forest, which is somewhere around Zamfara, as well as lives in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara state. He has a camp for illegal gold mining located at Kawai in Anka local government area of Zamfara state, and he also has a lot of boys working for him. Additionally, he is a prominent cattle rustler.
General Buba noted that Nigerian troops neutralized 227 terrorists, arrested 529 individuals, and rescued 253 kidnapped hostages. Also, significant quantity of weapons, ammunition, and stolen crude products have been seized by troops in their various theaters of operations.
Deny the oil theft of the estimated sum of over 1 billion naira during the week. Furthermore, troops recovered over 230 assorted weapons and over 6,400 assorted ammunition during the week.
General Buba tasked Nigerians to report cases of extortion, intimidation, and indiscipline by troops to enable armed forces deal with the situation. A minute silence was observed in honor of the fallen heroes and Nigerians who lost their lives due to insecurity in the country. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, federal government and states share 1.21 trillion naira revenue for April. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. And moving to the foreign scene, the president of Senegal, Bassirou Faye, has vowed to reopen talks with military juntas of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso to reintegrate them into the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. This followed President Bola Tinubu's appeal for renewed efforts to renegotiate and negotiate the return of the sister countries into the regional bloc after military takeovers in 2022 and 2023. The president's special advisor on media and publicity, Adjuri Ngelale, reviewed details of talks in a statement titled "President Tinubu receives President Bassirou Faye of Senegal, says that West Africa must work in unison to defeat terrorism and human trafficking." In business, the federal government says it has advanced the process of developing a national policy on marine and blue economy, which is expected to contribute $2.7 billion to the country's economy. The director of the Maritime Safety and Security Department in the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Babatunde Bombata, disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting in Lagos organized by the ministry. He said that the ministry had commenced the process of developing a national policy on the marine and blue economy, which would play a great role in enhancing the performance of the shipping subsector and boosting trade facilitation as well as economic growth. As part of measures to tackle incessant power outages in the country, President Bola Tinubu has approved the gradual payment of power sector debts estimated at over 3.3 trillion naira. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, disclosed this at the 8th African Energy Marketplace held in Abuja. The event was themed towards Nigeria's sustainable energy future, policy regulation and investment, a policy dialogue for the National Integrated Electricity Policy and Strategic Implementation Plan. About 1.3 trillion naira owed power generating companies by the federal government will be paid via cash injections and promissory notes, while about $1.3 billion owed to gas companies will be paid via cash and future royalties. In the meantime, the federal government says it is set to inaugurate the 8.1 billion naira Rinji electricity project in Okiti-Pupa, Council area of Ondo State by the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. According to the state representative on the board of the commission, Otitito Atikase, the electricity project will be commissioned by the Minister of Niger Delta Ministry, Abubakar Momo, on Wednesday. A statement by the Special Assistant to NDDC Commissioner, Rotimi Onyenyeni, said the electricity project will serve 5 local government areas in the oil-producing belt of the state. A total sum of 1.21 trillion naira, which came into the Federation account in April, has been disbursed to federal, state, and local governments by the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, as monthly allocation for May. The committee approved the sum for disbursement at its meeting in Abuja. A communique issued by the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, revealed that 1.208.081 trillion naira total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 284.716 billion naira, distributable value-added tax VAT revenue of 466.457 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy revenue of 18.024 billion naira, and exchange difference revenue of 438.884 billion naira. Total revenue of 2.192.077 trillion naira was available in the month of April 2024. In sport, the Women's World Cup will take place in South America for the first time after Brazil was chosen to host the 2027 edition at a FIFA Congress marked by debate about the war in Gaza. After the success of Australia and New Zealand last year, FIFA members picked Brazil over an European bid in a push to expand women's football to new continent. The decision sparked celebrations from the Brazilian bid team. Brazilian Football Confederation President Enardo Rodrigues hailed it as a victory for Latin America football and women's football in Latin America. That's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.